Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Before we get on with the video, I want to shout out to my grandson Sebastian. Happy birthday, my sweet 16. I love and miss you so much, and I'm so proud of you. So with all of that, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I got one of these signs. Actually, I got several of these signs from Dollar Tree before Christmas. They had them marked down to 25 cents each. So I grabbed a handful of them. I'm going to remove all the paper from the front. And this one had some pretty strong adhesive. It took me a little bit to get it off, but I got it all off. Then I just took my water and I spritzed down the second layer of paper here, got it nice and wet, and then I let it sit for about 5 minutes or so to let that water soak into that paper. And then after that, I took my paint scraper and I'm just going to scrape up all that paper. And you see all of the white residue there. That's all the glue, the adhesive that they used. And I ended up using a little bit of Goo Gone on it to get rid of all of that. Then I took some of this wallpaper from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to trace it down here so that it is the size that I need. And then I'm just going to use my scissors there to cut it all out. And then after that, I'm going to take my Tite Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue here. And I'm going to go down to the front of this sign and I'm just going to use my little brush here and I'm just going to brush it all in. Now that wallpaper is self-adhesive, but it is removable, so I don't trust that the adhesive on it is very strong. So that's why I go ahead and use my Tite Bond glue, so that way it becomes more permanent than what was on there. So I removed the backing from that paper and then I'm just going to get it all laid in place. Once I had it where I wanted it, I just kind of smoothed it all out and made sure it was, I noticed there it was a little bit crooked. So I'm just straightening it out and then I'm just going to smooth it all and really get that Tite Bond glue to sink in with it. Then I took a second piece and I'm matching it up. It matches up perfectly there. I laid it down and I'm carefully going to turn it over. And then I'm going to, I don't know what I was doing there, but I'm going to add my Tite Bond glue again. And I went ahead and had removed the backing and I'm like, oh, I guess I should add my glue. So I'm going to add my glue here and then I'm going to, just like I did on the top piece, I'm going to add the bottom piece to it, making sure that those lines match up well. So I don't know why I'm showing all of this, but I guess I am. So I'm just going to lay that in place and do the same thing I did on the top. And then I found these houses and I got these at Dollar Tree just the other day, and I'm going to remove the hangers. They were stapled and glued in. But I was so excited when I found these because I had this idea, but I had some bigger, thicker houses from Dollar Tree and Walmart, and I just thought, oh, if I do this, it might make that sign really heavy and bulky. And so when I was at Dollar Tree and I saw these, I was so excited because I'm like, this is perfect for what I want to do. So I bought two of them because I knew I needed 4 houses. And once I get the hangers all off of them, I'm also going to remove the middle picture that's in each one of them. And I'm going to also remove the little those little metal pieces that hold those pictures in place. And I'm just kind of bending upward so that way I can take my little mini pliers here. Or yeah, pliers? Is that what they are? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to just pull those right off of the houses. And that one, my hand slipped, but there we go. Really easy. Then I'm going to just paint all 4 of them with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant. And after they were dried, I'm going to take these little 1.5-inch wood letters I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint them with Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. Then I'm going to take my Tite Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue and I'm going to glue those houses all on my picture here. And the reason why I did that elephant color was because the limbs on these flowers on this paper is a dark gray and I thought that would be perfect. And so then after I had that on, I took my Tite Bond glue and I'm going to glue each one of my letters in the middle of those houses. And I'm just using my finger to smooth out the glue on the back of the letters, so that way when I lay the letters down, it's not all squishing out from those letters. Then I'm going to take some hot glue here and my favorite braided jute cord I get from Amazon. It is in my Amazon store if you would like to use or try some out, but I love using this stuff. And I'm just going to go around the whole sign with that cord there. And then after that, I decided that I wanted to put something on the houses. So I took some little pieces of boxwood greenery that I had nearby, and I'm just going to use my hot glue to glue them in place on top of each house. And then I just took some twine and made just little shoelace bows and glued them right in the middle. And then I made my hangers with, or hanger holes with my big mouth crocodile, and then just used some more of that cording to make a hanger and just thread it through the holes and tie knots on the back. And there it is. I love how this turned out. I know in the camera it kind of makes it look like it's hard to read the home, but it turns out great in person.
I know my intro was a little different, not usually what I do, but I figured I need to today's his birthday. I need to do a shout out for him. Anyways, I am so excited to see what you guys think of my crafts today. I hope you like them. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, if you hear me, and I might start doing this more often on my intros, I have a grandson that is estranged from the family right now. And he is not doing well. Let's just put it that way. And so I might do a shout out for him in some of my intros, because I just want him to know how much he's loved and missed. So sorry. I don't mean to get emotional about those things, but when it comes to grandkids, they're like your kids, you love them and you worry about them. And he was my first. He made me a Mimi. I was going to be Grammy. He couldn't call me Grammy. He started calling me Mimi. So, yeah, you'll probably, it's been something I've been wanting to do, but I wanted to mention it before I do it. And so if you hear me doing it, it's just because I'm trying and hoping that maybe he'll see one of my videos and know that we love him and we miss him. And so sorry about the emotional tribute there, but it is what it is, and that's what you get with me. I'm real, and I try to keep everything upbeat for you guys, but there's just some times where you got to show those emotions. Anyways, and if you know, and people who know me know, I tear up very, very easily. So that's just me. But anyways, before we get on with this video, I want to welcome you if you are new here, and I'm so glad you stopped by. This is my sweet, sweet Oliver, and I am Brenda. And if you enjoy home decor on a budget, I'd love it if you would hit that red subscribe button before you go, become part of our YouTube family. And yeah, for those of you that have been around, I appreciate you guys so much. And I thank you so much for all of your support you've shown me throughout the time you've been here. I truly appreciate it. So before you go today, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribed. If you have, make sure you check it to make sure it's still subscribed. And then make sure you guys give me that thumbs up, comment, hype, all that fun stuff, because it really does help my video and my channel. So with all of that chit-chatting, let's get back to the video.
Okay, DIY number 2. So I have 2 of these wood hanging signs from Dollar Tree. These are the new smaller ones. Don't get me started about that. But I'm going to fill those hanger holes with some spackling. And then after that, I took a small brush and I'm going to paint just along the outside edge of both of those signs. I'm going to paint all around those 2 wood signs with that white paint. Then I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax on 2 of them. I'm just going to paint one side on both of these boards. And I'm just going to very carefully try not to get it on the edge because, yeah, I'm not good at that. When I paint, you guys, I get paint everywhere. I came out of the craft room today and my mom looked at me and she goes, "You've got paint on your face." I had a big old smudge of paint on my face. I don't know how I got it, but I'm messy. So anyways, once I had it brushed on, I'm just going to take a paper towel and just kind of wipe off the excess and just kind of rub it all into some of those areas there and then continue on until they were both done. Now I have these beads. I've had these for a couple of years, but I got them originally for $5.98. I think they were $1 more now, maybe a little bit more than that. But I'm going to use some of these beads. And did I say I got them from Walmart? That's where I got them. But you could use Dollar Tree. Sometimes you can find beads from Dollar Tree. You could use those too. But I'm just going to take them off of off of the string that it comes on, and I'm going to put them on some painter's tape. This is my favorite way to paint beads. I know people do it in a bowl or in a baggie, but for me, those ways just don't work very well for me, and so I always like to do it this way. And I like to use a little paintbrush to kind of hold them in place while I paint all around them. And then I usually will flip the tape around so that I can make sure I got everything on the other side. And then once they're dry, I flip those beads over and then I get the underside of those beads. And I do the same thing as I did on the top side. Just hold it down with another paintbrush and then use my other paintbrush to go all around and make sure they're all covered. Once they were all dry, I took my Titebond glue again and I am going to start gluing them in place. Just like you see, I'm just going to lay some glue down and then just start setting them on top of that glue. And I'm going to do this all the way around the board. And I actually had more. I painted more than I needed, which I was shocked. Now, if you recreate this, you want to give that glue about 5 to 10 minutes to set. I would say 10 before you do this part. I did not wait, and I did have them moving around on me, which was bumming me out. And I should have waited. So once I had the board on there, I carefully took some more painter's tape and just taped around just to make sure that the boards and the beads really connected. Did you see it move there? Yeah. So I let those sit for a while, and then I took these. I think I got these from Woodpecker Crafts last year, but I went over them with my Waverly Antique Wax, and I don't know what happened to the footage, but I did use my Titebond glue to glue them onto the bottom of my riser, but for some reason I did not have that when I was editing. So that's all I did. And there it is. I love how this came out. I just love this riser. I love risers. And I just think this came out so pretty. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have Tracy made these beautiful winter pieces. I just love that tree. Oh my goodness. Great job, Tracy. Thank you for sharing those. And then we have Brenda who made all these pretty pieces. I love them. Oh, they're so pretty, Brenda. Thank you so much for sharing those as well. And then we have Ronnie. Look at these lovely pieces she made. She did the stained glass on her window there and then made those beautiful little lanterns. I love them. Thank you so much. And if you have something that you've created that you would like me to showcase, you can email pictures to me at rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, on to DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I decided to go ahead and do a pizza pan project since I haven't done one for a while. And I'm just going to sand the edges of this pizza pan as well as the backside. And then I just wipe it all off with a baby wipe, get that sanding all off. And then I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint and the color ink. Actually, I paint the whole back and I just paint the sides on the front. And then after it was dry, I'm going to take my Mod Podge here. I'm going to go all around the front of my pizza pan. And I got a little bit too much there. I got a little carried away with the Mod Podge. But I do go over the back side of it and the edges of the paint. It just kind of gives that protective layer on the paint so that it doesn't scratch off so easy. So you see me doing that here too. So then after that, I took this splatter lid that you get from Dollar Tree. I'm going to trace it on some paper from Hobby Lobby, and then I'm going to just cut that all out, and then I'm going to lay that right in the middle of my pizza pan. And I'm just going to make sure that gets adhered really well. And then I'm just going to take some rope that I got from Yasmin. She sent me this. Thank you, Yasmin, with a box of goodies I showed you guys here a couple months ago. And I'm just going to glue this all around the inside part of my pizza pan. And I'm just using my hot glue there. I debated on whether or not to use hot glue because I know hot glue doesn't work real well on metal, but I figured it's on the paper, so hopefully that works fine. So then I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink and one of these little crates from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to paint it with that black color. And then once it was dry, I'm going to use my Titebond glue again, and I'm just going to glue this onto my pizza pan. And I think, oh yeah, I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue too. I don't know why. I really didn't need to. I should have just stayed with the Titebond, but I'm going to use a little hot glue there too. And then I'm just going to glue that in. And you see how I didn't paint all of it? Well, after I glued that, I'm like, I need to paint all of it because you're going to see through, well, I thought you were going to see through, but the florals, but I do something else. So I'm going to add some of these. This came from a floral pick from Dollar Tree. And then I was like, okay, I don't like those holes there. So I found another pick of florals from Dollar Tree, and I took off the little purple flowers. And I was just going to put the purple flowers in the middle and then the greenery from those purple flowers on the bottom. But I ended up just kind of switching it out a little bit, and I mixed some of the greenery in with the purple flowers on both the middle and the bottom little holes there. So after I had got done playing with all of these greenery pieces, I guess I'm just going to show you all of this. I'm showing you how I actually did it, I guess. But here, I just put the greenery there, but I changed that out in a little bit. I took some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting 2 pieces at 12 inches, and then the last piece was 8 inches. And the 12-inch pieces I'm going to glue together with the hot glue. I'm going to glue them end to end just like that to make 2 circles or 2 rounds. And then after I had them glued together, I'm going to scrunch them up in the middle, and then I'm going to take the second one and scrunch that up in the middle, and then I'm going to place it on top of the other one. And then I'm going to hold those 2 together using some jute cord that I have, or jute string. And I'm just going to tie a knot, and then I'm going to take the tail and add it to the middle of that, and then I'm going to finish tying another knot. And I'm going to show you all of this, I guess. Oh my goodness. Okay, so once I have this all on there, I'm going to dovetail the ends, which you just fold in half and cut at an angle, and then I'm going to hot glue that right to the bottom of my pizza pan. And I'm just showing you, there you go. And then I'm just like, this needs something else. So I went ahead and took some more of that greenery, or that flower greenery from Dollar Tree. I think it's just called greenery actually. And I glued it behind my bow, and then I took my smallmouth crocodile and made some hanger holes. It took some more of that twine and made a hanger, and that's all there was for this one. Really simple and easy, and I think it's pretty cute. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, and now on to the final DIY number 4. So I'm going to take one of these crates from Dollar Tree and these little fence wood pieces from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint them all with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Once they were dry, I'm taking my Waverly antique wax, and I'm going to distress all around the fence posts as well as that crate. Now, if you don't like to distressing, or if you don't like that look, you could definitely recreate this without having the distressing. But I really like rustic, and I have been really in the rustic mood lately. I have not had enough rustic in my life lately, so I decided to rustic it up. Then I'm going to take my Titebond glue here. I'm going to put it on the bottom pieces of my fence, and I'm going to glue it right on the inside part of my crate. And then I'm going to take some dowel caps that I have. I think I got these from either Hobby Lobby or Woodpecker Crafts. I'm an associate with Woodpecker Crafts, and I have an affiliate link to them if you're interested in checking them out. They're in my description box, but I'm just going to wipe on some Waverly Antique Wax and then wipe off the excess. And then I did that with some half beads I have as well. And once they're all dry, I'm just going to glue those half beads on one on each corner of my crate. And then I had these little handles that I got, I think from Temu a couple years ago. And I'm just going to lay it where I want to put it, and I'm marking it so I know where to put the screws. And I'm just going to take these teeny tiny little screws that come with it. I'm just going to screw them all in to hold that little handle in place. Now, if you don't have one of these handles, you don't have to do that. You could put anything. You can make a bow if you wanted to. Put some ribbon around it, or even just use some half beads or whatever. And then once I was done with that, I took the dowel caps, and I'm going to use my Titebond glue to put them down on the bottom to have some feet to give it a little bit of a rise to that. And then I'm going to add some floral foam and some of my favorite boxwood greenery that comes from Walmart, and I'm just going to fill in that crate with my boxwood greenery. And yeah, I'm just going to fill it all in. I feel like I need more greenery in my home, and so I just thought this would be perfect. So I'm just going to continue to add. I'm cutting them all down, so it's better. I like doing it because then you can control where it all goes a little bit easier. Then I had some of these teeny little roses in my stash. I think I got these from Michael's last year. I don't remember, but I'm just going to put a few inside of all that greenery just to give it a little contrast and something a little extra. And yeah, that's all I did for that. And I think it came out really cute. I hope you like this one as well. And a final reveal is coming right up. So make sure you let me know which one was your favorite one today. And thank you guys all for your ideas. And I think we were all on the same wavelength because almost all of you said everyday home decor. So with all of that, you guys, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and all that fun stuff. It really helps my channel out. And I will be back again on Thursday with another video. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.